तो जब इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बना तो वो जो प्रोसेस था वो भी बहुत डिफ़िकल्ट था और उस टाइम पे जो सर्कमस्टेंसेस थे वो भी बहुत डिफ़िकल्ट थे। यू ऑल नो ब्रिटिशर्स हमारे यहाँ पर रूल कर रहे थे, बहुत ज़्यादा इंडियंस को परेशान कर रहे थे। 1857 का रिवोल्यूशन हो गया था, उसके बाद बहुत सारे लॉज ये लोग बैक टू बैक लेकर आ रहे थे, राइट। बहुत सारी चीज़ें हो रही थी। महात्मा गांधी ने फ्रीडम स्ट्रगल मूवमेंट चला रखा था, बहुत सारे बाकी लीडर्स ने भी चला रखा था, सुभाष चंद्र बोस, भगत सिंह, बहुत सारे लोगों ने फ्रीडम स्ट्रगल मूवमेंट में अपनी जानें गंवाई। तो यहाँ पर भी जो इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन जो बना उसका जो प्रोसेस था वो बहुत डिफिकल्ट था। अब हम उसको वन बाय वन पढ़ेंगे कि किस तरीके से वो बना। द मेकिंग ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन फॉर अ ह्यूज एंड डाइवर्स कंट्री लाइक इंडिया वॉज नॉट एन ईजी अफेयर। इंडिया के अंदर क्या है, पॉपुलेशन बहुत ज़्यादा है और हर प्रकार के लोग यहाँ पर आपको मिलेंगे, बहुत सारे अलग अलग कास्ट के, अलग अलग रीजन्स में अलग अलग लैंग्वेजेस बोलने वाले लोग मिलेंगे आपको। तो यहाँ पर क्या है, बहुत सारी डाइवर्सिटी है इंडिया के अंदर, राइट। तो इतने सारे डाइवर्सिटीज़ को ध्यान में रखते हुए, इतने सारे लोगों को ध्यान में रखते हुए जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को बनाना था वो इतना आसान नहीं था, बहुत ज़्यादा मुश्किल था। और जब कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बन रहा था हमारे देश में एक पार्टीशन की भी दुर्घटना हुई है ना। पार्टीशन के बारे में आप सभी जानते हो, भारत से पाकिस्तान जो है अलग हो गया, उसने अपना एक अलग देश बना लिया। तो जब ये पार्टीशन हुआ, जब ये कहा गया कि जो लोग पाकिस्तान जाना चाहते हैं वो पाकिस्तान जाएं, जो हिंदुस्तान में रहना चाहते हैं वो हिंदुस्तान में रहें, तो उस टाइम पे जब ये पार्टीशन हुआ तो उसमें भी बहुत लाखों लोगों ने अपनी जानें गंवाई। तो यहाँ पर भी इंडिया में भी जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का प्रोसेस था वो बहुत ज़्यादा ईजी नहीं था, बहुत मुश्किल था। Britishers were very very smart when they were leaving India. What they have done that they have given a choice to princely states that if they want to merge with British India they can merge, if they want to be independent they can be independent. As it is, they told Pakistan also that those people who want to merge with Pakistan they can merge with Pakistan, those who want to be with India they can be with India, because Britishers knew, they were thinking that India would not remain as a united country, right? उनको क्या लग रहा था कि भारत जो है वो ज़्यादा टाइम तक टिक नहीं पाएगा इस तरीके से, because we have lot of diversity here, the population is also too much here, that is why they have played this trick on us. So framing of the constitution, Indian constitution was not an easy task, it was a very very difficult process. So we have to all say a silent thanks to Mr. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, जिन्होंने बहुत effort किया, and by his efforts only we could unite the India all together. Okay. While the constitution was being framed, those people who were framing the constitution, they had anxiety about the present and the future of the country. They were not very sure. They were also not very sure because the Britishers उन्होंने कितने cruelties किए, right? And during that time, if we go back in the history, in the past, and then we think कि उस time पे क्या scenario रहा होगा, it would be very difficult. All these constitution makers, those who have built our constitution, they went to different countries, they read their constitution, and then they incorporated certain things in our constitution which they thought is useful, which they thought was useful or could be useful for our country, right? Now the path to the constitution was a difficult task, but there were certain basic ideas which were accepted by almost everyone who were a part of the Constituent Assembly. What was Constituent Assembly? Constituent Assembly was a group of people, they were elected by the people so that they could frame our constitution, right? So how the journey of the Indian constitution started, we are going to see. As far back as in 1928, Motilal Nehru and 8 other Congress leaders drafted a constitution for India. You all know Motilal Nehru, who was the father of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who was the first Prime Minister of India. So in the year 1928, he and 8 other Congress leaders, they drafted a constitution for India, right? Then what happened? In 1931, the resolution at the Karachi session of the Indian National Congress dwelt on how independent India's constitution should look like. 1931 में एक कराची सेशन हुआ, ऑल राइट, कांग्रेस की अलग अलग जगह पे सेशंस हुआ करते थे, तो 1931 में कराची में एक सेशन हुआ जिसको कराची सेशन बोलते हैं. सो इन 1931 इन कराची सेशन इंडियन नेशनल कांग्रेस ने ये एक ड्राफ्ट बनाया कि किस तरीके से इंडिया, इंडिपेंडेंट इंडिया का जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है वो होना चाहिए. Thus, some basic values were acceptable by all leaders much before the Constituent Assembly met and deliberate on the Constitution. All right, तो कुछ ऐसे basic values थे जिसपे everyone agreed upon that yes, all these basic values should be there in our constitution. For example, the fundamental rights, it has to be there in our constitution. Fundamental, rights are something which are very, very important for any citizen. All right, in the absence of fundamental rights, you all know what will happen. वही होगा जो बाकी देशों में, जैसे पाकिस्तान में, जिम्बाब्वे में लोगों के साथ हुआ था. Now, the British rule had given voting rights only to a few. On the basis of on that basis, the British had introduced very weak legislatures. तो Britishers ने क्या किया था, स्टार्टिंग में जो voting rights थे वो सबको नहीं दिए थे, कुछ ही लोगों को दिए हुए थे. And on the basis of that, the British had introduced very weak legislatures. जो legislatures थे, they were also very, very weak during that time. 1937, the elections happened actually in the provincial legislatures and ministries all over the British India. Now, I'll quickly tell you what is the meaning of British India. Now, see, the area which was under the British was known as British India. All right. The area which British were ruling on was known as British India. All right. So, when I say British India, it means the area over which the Britishers were ruling. Now, what happened? These were not fully democratic governments, but it helped Indians in the working of the legislative institutions, proved to be very useful for the country in setting up its own institution. क्या हुआ था, जब ब्रिटिशर्स यहाँ रूल कर रहे थे तो उन्होंने ऐसे छोटे छोटे लेजिस्लेचर्स हर अपने ब्रिटिश एरिया के कुछ कुछ हिस्सों में बना दिए थे. इससे क्या हुआ, जो इंडियंस वहाँ पर काम कर रहे थे उससे उनको हेल्प मिली इस चीज़ को समझने में कि हम, हमारा खुद का जब कंट्री बन जाएगी, इंडिपेंडेंस हमें मिल जाएगी, तो हम किस तरीके से रूल करेंगे. ओके. That is why the Indian Constitution adopted many institutional details and procedures from colonial laws like the Government of India Act 1935. तो क्या हुआ, जो those Indians who were working in these legislatures, they learnt from them and they also learnt from this Government of India Act 1935 and they understood all these things, and when our Indian Constitution was made, they also adopted many features from this act. Now, this is one of the pictures. Then, parliamentary democracy in Britain and the Bill of Rights in the US. Now, what is parliamentary democracy? There are different forms of democracies all over the world. Okay, one is parliamentary democracy and then presidential form of democracy. So, in Britain, they follow parliamentary democracy. So, since Britain was ruling us, we also adopted parliamentary democracy, and in United States, they follow presidential form of government. So, we adopted parliamentary form of democracy from Britain, okay, because we are a parliamentary form of democracy. हम क्या है आज, हमारा जो लोकतंत्र है वो किसका उदाहरण है, parliamentary form of democracy. We still follow that. And from United States of America, we adopted the Bill of Rights, जिसको आज हम क्या बोलते हैं, fundamental rights. Okay. So, इस तरीके से हमने छोटे छोटे parts अलग अलग देशों से adopt किए. Now, the socialist revolution in Russia had inspired many Indians to think of shaping a system based on social and economic equality. रशिया में क्या होता था, रशिया is a socialist country. Okay. So, रशिया में क्या होता है कि जितना भी वेल्थ जनरेट होता है कंट्री में, दे ट्राई टू डिस्ट्रीब्यूट इट अमंग द पीपल इक्वली. तो वो एक इक्वालिटी के प्रिंसिपल पे काम करते हैं. तो जो नेहरू जी का और गांधी जी का विजन था कि हमारा भी इंडिया शुड बी अ सोशलिस्ट कंट्री, इट इज रिटन इन आवर प्रीएम्बल ऑल्सो. इट इज वन ऑफ द वैल्यूज विच वी स्टिल वैल्यू. सो which we still, which was inculcated in our system rather, I would say. So, this socialist vision we have adopted from Russia, which was way back earlier USSR. Then all these factors contributed to the making of our constitution, the Constituent Assembly. इन सारे फैक्टर्स ने मिलके हमें हेल्प किया कि हम हमारा एक कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बना सके. अब ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बनाया किसने? द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन वाज फ्रेम्ड बाय द कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली. Okay, so there were many people who were a part of Constituent Assembly. They all sat together, they all used to discuss. There were many discussions, debates before or while the Constitution of India was being framed. So we will be having a look at all these leaders who were a part of the Constituent Assembly. So let us begin with Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was the Home Minister. He was the Information and Broadcasting Minister in the interim government. What do you mean by interim government? While the main government functioned before, when the Constituent Assembly was made and they were ruling, by the time Britishers, were here in India, so they all formed a government and they were learning the process that how the constitution will be made, how all these princely states will come together. So during that time, the government was known as interim government. So who was he? Who was Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel? He was a lawyer and he was also a leader of Bardoli peasant satyagrah. तो एक किसानों का आंदोलन हुआ था बारडोली के अंदर. He was the lawyer there and he was the leader there in that particular satyagrah. He played a decisive role in the integration of the Indian princely states. I already told you, he played a very, very important role in the integration of Indian princely states because see, many of the independent rulers wanted to be independent only, including our own Rajasthan, right? So what he has done, he went to different princely states, he has convinced them to merge with the India. That is why we say that Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, he played a decisive role in the integration of India. Then later on, he became the Deputy Prime Minister. Now let us move on to the next leader, Abul Kalam Azad. So Abul Kalam Azad was the Education Minister. Later on, he became the Education Minister. He was basically born in Saudi Arab. He was the educationist, author and theologian. He was the scholar of Arabic. He was one of the Congress leader and later on he became Education Minister in the first Union Cabinet. So he became the first Education Minister of the independent India. Now we move on to T. Krishnamachari. He was basically from Tamil Nadu. He was born in Tamil Nadu. He was the member of the drafting committee. Later on he became the Finance Minister in the Union Cabinet. Then you all know Mr. Rajendra Prasad. He does not need introduction because he was the President of the independent India. Okay, so he was basically born in Bihar. He was the President of the Constituent Assembly. He was basically a lawyer known for his role in the Champaran Satyagraha that you all must have read in the modern history. He was the leader in the Champaran Satyagraha. There only he met Mahatma Gandhi. 3 times the President of Congress और ये 3 बार कांग्रेस के प्रेसिडेंट भी रह चुके थे. बाद में ये क्या बने हमारे देश के पहले प्रेसिडेंट. देन वी मूव ऑन टू H.C. मुखर्जी. ये basically he was from Bengal. He was the vice chairman of the Constituent Assembly. He was the member of All India Christian Council and Bengal Legislative Assembly. Later on, he was appointed as the governor of West Bengal. So these are all renowned leaders who were a part of the Constituent Assembly which played a critical role in creating the constitution for India. Let's move on to Jaipal Singh. He was from Jharkhand, a sportsman and educationist. He was the captain of the first national hockey team and he was also the founder president of Adivasi Mahasabha. Later he became the founder of Jharkhand Party. Now, by now you all must have understood that some people, some members of Constituent Assembly, few of them are from Bengal, from Jharkhand, from different states of India. So why is it so? They have included people from all parts of India so that we can work on this principle, unity in diversity. Okay. Drafting of the document called the Constitution was done by an assembly of elected representatives called the Constituent Assembly. This I already told you, right? So there were few elected members, they have drafted the Constitution, right? Elections to the Constituent Assembly were held in July 1946 first of all. Its first meeting was held in December 1946. The Constituent Assembly had 299 members. Now this is something very important. This can come in exam, right? That how many total members were there in the Constituent Assembly. So your answer would be 299. They can also ask you in exam that when the elections were held for the Constituent Assembly first of all. So your answer would be July 1946. The question can also come like this, that when was the first meeting held for the Constituent Assembly? So your answer would be December 1946. Alright. The Assembly adopted the Constitution on 26th of November 1949. But it came into effect on 26 January 1950. That is why we celebrate Republic Day on 26th of January. You all know that 26 January is our Republic Day. Why is it celebrated? Now you know. Why? Because the Constituent Assembly adopted the Constitution on 26 November, but it came into effect on 26 January 1950. That is why 26 January is the Republic Day of our country. See, many countries of the world, had to rewrite their constitution afresh because the basic rules were not acceptable to all major social groups, but it did not happen in India. Why? Because for, many years, nobody has complained about the constitution, nobody has questioned the legitimacy of the constitution, right? So this is an unusual achievement for our country, that we still continue with the old constitution which was written 75 years back by our constitution makers. Okay. The second reason for accepting the constitution is that the Constituent Assembly represented the people of India. Now this is something very, very important. I told you, unity in diversity. Although we have diversity in our country, but we still are able to bind together everybody. So this is also one of the USPs of our Indian constitution. There was no universal adult franchise at that time, so the Constituent Assembly could not have been chosen directly by all the people of India. तो क्या हुआ कि उस टाइम पे सबको voting rights नहीं थे, है ना? लेकिन this ensured a fair geographical share of members from all the regions of the country. Country के सारे regions से कुछ लोग उसके अंदर select किए गए, right? जिससे कि university and diversity को maintain किया जा सके. So it was elected mainly by the members of Constituent Assembly. The assembly was basically dominated by Indian National Congress, the party that led India's freedom struggle. तो ये जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली थी उसमें ज़्यादातर लोग कौन से थे? जो ऑलरेडी कांग्रेस के मेंबर थे. कांग्रेस, व्हेन आई से कांग्रेस, इंडियन नेशनल कांग्रेस के जो मेंबर्स थे, ज़्यादातर मेंबर्स कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली में कांग्रेस के ही थे. सो इंडियन नेशनल कांग्रेस जो पार्टी थी वो उस टाइम की सबसे बड़ी पार्टी थी और उसके अंदर जितने भी लीडर्स थे, ज़्यादातर वही लीडर्स थे जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली का हिस्सा बने. ओके. नेक्स्ट क्या हुआ? अब असेंबली के अंदर बहुत सारे लोग थे. यू ऑल नो व्हेन मेनी पीपल आर देयर, डेफिनेटली देयर आर डिसएग्रीमेंट्स, है ना? डिसएग्रीमेंट्स होते हैं. जब हम घर में भी कोई डिसीजन लेते हैं तो डिसएग्रीमेंट्स कई बार आते हैं, राइट? सो सिमिलरली कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बनाने की जिम्मेदारी थी, बहुत बड़ी जिम्मेदारी थी, तो डिसएग्रीमेंट्स भी होने ही थे. तो सबसे पहले इन्होंने क्या किया कि कुछ बेसिक रूल्स और प्रिंसिपल्स बना लेते हैं, ठीक है? तो इन्होंने कुछ बेसिक रूल्स और बेसिक प्रिंसिपल्स बनाए, जिनके आधार पर इन्होंने कहा कि अब हम इन बेसिक रूल्स और प्रिंसिपल्स के आधार पर ही काम करेंगे, ठीक है? तो असेंबली ने क्या किया? असेंबली में बहुत सारे मेंबर्स थे, अलग अलग सोशल ग्रुप्स को वो लोग रिप्रेजेंट करते थे. तो अब क्या हुआ? एक बेसिक रूल्स बना लिए गए कि अब हम क्या करेंगे? डिबेट्स करेंगे, डिस्कशन करेंगे, लेकिन वोटिंग करने से बचेंगे, है ना? तो ये इस तरीके के इन्होंने छोटे छोटे रूल्स बना लिए कि हम वोटिंग करने से बचेंगे, क्योंकि वोटिंग करने से क्या होगा? अननेसेसरी हेट्रेड फैलेगा. तो हमें क्या करना है? हार्मनी में रह के काम करना है. तो हम क्या करते हैं? कुछ बेसिक रूल्स और प्रिंसिपल्स बना लेते हैं. तो कुछ बेसिक रूल्स और प्रिंसिपल्स बनाए गए, फिर एक ड्राफ्टिंग कमेटी बनाई गई, जिसके अध्यक्ष कौन थे? डॉक्टर BR अम्बेडकर, जिनको आप स्क्रीन पे देख रहे हैं. They deliberated for 114 days spread over 3 years. तो इन्होंने क्या किया? 3 years से भी ज़्यादा काम किया कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के ऊपर. The dream of an India, this dream of an India that has eliminated inequality was shared by Dr. Ambedkar. He had a different understanding of how inequalities could be removed. So जो डॉक्टर BR अम्बेडकर थे वो ये कहते थे कि सभी लोग जो हैं, ऑल पीपल शुड बी ट्रीटेड इक्वली, राइट? तो उन्होंने इक्वालिटी पे सबसे ज़्यादा जोर दिया. He often bitterly criticized Mahatma Gandhi and his vision. तो महात्मा गांधी और जो अम्बेडकर साहब थे उनकी भी बहुत ज़्यादा बनती नहीं थी, है ना? तो उनका भी थोड़ा सा आइडियोलॉजीज अलग थी, है ना? तो दैट्स फाइन, बट स्टिल सबने मिलकर के एक साथ काम किया, हार्मनी में काम किया. दैट इज़ मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट. Now this is one of the speech from Dr. BR Ambedkar. Okay, so on the 26th of January 1950, he said we are going to enter a life of contradictions. In politics, we will have equality, and in social and economic life, we will have inequality. In politics, we will be recognizing the principle of one man, one vote, and one vote, one value in our social and economic life. We shall, by reason of our social and economic structure, continue to deny the principle of one man, one value. How long shall we continue to live this life of contradictions? ये उनके ideologies थे. This was one of the concluding speech of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar to the Constituent Assembly. So he said this thing. Now this is our constitution. The constitution begins with a short statement of its basic values. This is called the preamble to the constitution. तो preamble क्या होता है? Constitution की एक तरीके से एक summary होता है. It is also known as the heart and soul of the constitution. तो एक छोटा सा statement होता है और उस छोटे statement के अंदर ही सारे basic values आपको constitution के नजर आ जाते हैं. The preamble of the constitution contains the philosophy on which the entire constitution has been built. तो जो preamble होता है वो ये बताता है कि इस पर्टिकुलर कंट्री का, जिस भी कंट्री का ये preamble है, उनकी फिलॉसफी क्या है, उनके वैल्यूज क्या क्या हैं, कौन कौन से उन वैल्यूज पे वो काम करते हैं. ओके, preamble is also known as the soul of the Indian constitution. The preamble of the constitution reads like a poem on democracy. You all know that India is a democracy, right? So let us understand, this is the preamble of India. You all can see on the screen. This is the preamble of the Indian constitution. So it starts with, we the people of India. Now see, there are certain important words which we need to know in this preamble, right? Having so many resolved to constitute India into a sovereign. So what is sovereign? Sovereign, I told you in the previous chapter also that इंडिया अब इंडिपेंडेंट है. कोई भी एक्सटर्नल पावर इंडिया के ऊपर अब अपना कब्जा कभी भी नहीं कर सकती है. सेकंड, इंडिया क्या है? सोशलिस्ट है, मतलब जितनी भी वेल्थ होगी इट विल बी डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड इक्वली अमंग ऑल इट्स पीपल. देन सेक्युलर मीन्स हम सारे जितने भी रिलीजन्स हैं उनको रिस्पेक्ट करते हैं. इंडिया का अपना कोई रिलीजन नहीं है. डेमोक्रेटिक, इंडिया इज अ डेमोक्रेसी, राइट. देन इट इज अ रिपब्लिक. रिपब्लिक, आई टोल्ड यू दैट द हेड ऑफ द स्टेट इज इलेक्टेड एंड नॉट चोजन. हमारे यहाँ कोई किंग नहीं है. ऐसा नहीं कि कोई किंग है उसका बेटा ही आगे प्रेसिडेंट बनेगा फिर उसका बेटा बनेगा. नो, वी डू नॉट हैव दिस सिस्टम. वी हैव इलेक्शंस फॉर द प्रेसिडेंट. सो आवर प्रेसिडेंट इज ऑलवेज इलेक्टेड. दिस मीन्स वी आर अ रिपब्लिक. ओके, नाउ जस्टिस. all the people will be getting justice, whether it is social justice, economic justice or political justice. All right. Then we all have liberty of thought, expression, whatever we want to speak, we can speak, right? We all have liberty to worship any god we like. We all have liberty to settle down in any part of the India. Then we all are equal. Everybody is equal in the eyes of the law. Then fraternity, that we all will be living like a family. So this shows the philosophy of India, right? Don't you think so that this shows the philosophy of India, right? India is working on this philosophy only. Now, a constitution is not merely a statement of values and philosophy, rather a constitution is about values. As I have told you just now, all these values we follow. Now, you know that Indian constitution is the longest written constitution in the world. So, constitution is a very long and detailed document. So, therefore, it needs to be amended quite regularly to keep it updated. So, those people are, respectable members of Constituent Assembly. While framing the constitution, they knew this thing that in future this constitution could be amended, right? So, they did not, keep the book, very sacred or something which cannot be amended. They were very pragmatic people, very smart and intelligent people. So, they knew that in future the situations might be different. So, they gave us a liberty to, make changes in the constitution. You all must have heard the word amendment. So, time to time there are different amendments in the constitution, right, according to the time and according to the need, right. So, we can say that there is a need, right, because you never know what comes in future. So, time to time the constitution can be updated also. So this is how we come to the end of the chapter, right? I hope you all have enjoyed learning this chapter. Thank you so much.